Come on in and sit down. You cut the hardcore crew chewing the fat. You cut us shooting the shit. You cut us in the moment. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of In the Moment right here on Hardcore Wrestling Radio. I am your hardcore host, Rick Head, and of course, I got the whole hardcore crew here with me. First, from Lance Moss TV, he's the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how we doing?
What the fuck did we just watch?
Well, I believe we just watched tables, ladders, and chairs, and stairs. What the fuck?
And shit.
Yeah, and shit. And of course, we also have James from the Big Easy. James, what were your thoughts of TLC tonight?
This wasn't TLC. This was TLC SSRSKST. Tables, ladders, chairs, stairs, slammies, rails, spray, candlesticks, and TV.
Yeah, it was that. There was a lot of other things, and just tables, ladders, and chairs.
And stairs.
And stairs. Believe it or not, guys, I was a little late for the pay-per-view as I was indisposed, and I missed the kickoff show, which, from what I hear, it wasn't really that much of a missing, but we hear that the New Day did get their win. So, guys, I'm going to kick it over to you guys. Lance, what did you think of the kickoff show? Just like that, okay. Okay, James, for you, what about the...
Well, I'm going to say this. It wasn't memorable, but it was at least decent enough to watch. And basically, it's like, you know, we all knew, besides Lance over there who's saying Golden Stardust, but everybody else predicted correctly that New Day was going to win.
All right. And, well, let's move on to the actual pay-per-view, which was the first match. And this was Luke Harper versus Dolph Ziggler for the ladder match and for the Intercontinental title match. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. This was actually a very great match. This was a lot of what I call the holy shit spots to go with it. Harper actually slices the arm during the match, and Ziggler actually gets powerbombed on the ladder and then slingshotted into the ladder match, which busted him wide open. These were just a few spots of this really incredible match. Ziggler did eventually get the win, and he got the IC title for this is his third win, a third IC title run?
Fourth time, I think.
Fourth time, thank you very much. Like I said, now, during our prediction runs, I really did not pick Ziggler to get this win, and I'm not saying that I should discredit him because I really thought that that Ziggler should go on to bigger and better things, but unfortunately the WWE said no, he needs to have this. So, James, I'm going to go over to you. What was your thought about this match?
Well, you know, same thing with you. I predicted that Ziggler was going to lose because the fact is that, you know, I don't feel like the IC title would mean enough for him. But, you know, looking into like his pre-show thing, he said that, you know, the Intercontinental title is something that he can hold on to. And I think, you know, if he can't go for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, I think he should try to, you know, make that Intercontinental Championship more prestigious as it used to be. You know, how prestigious the title was is that, you know, you had the WWE title and then you had the Intercontinental.
Yeah, I guess, and also let's be realistic, his world title runs have not been that glorious. I mean, he holds on to the world titles, and they're gone within a couple of months. In the first run, he couldn't even hold on to for more than 30 seconds. Lance, your thoughts of this first match?
Well, first off, I'm one of the few people that actually called this, so there's that. And yes, I am a Dolph Ziggler mark, and I'll say that loud and proud. Well, honestly, second to best, it'd be honorable mention for match of the night.
Yeah,
it's that good.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It was definitely one of the better matches of the night.
I will have to double check your pick for that, Lance.
Well, let's move on to the next match, which was the Usos versus Miz and Mizdow, and this is for the tag team titles. And early in the match, there was several pinfall attempts from both teams, but obviously this happened to no avail. During the match, Miz slams the Usos with the title to get DQ'd, so the Usos did win, but obviously by DQ, so there was no title exchange. I think that the Usos would win, but I did not really say whether the title exchange would happen, so this is kind of an interesting one. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, honestly, I was bored through the match, but then again, I hate WWE's tag team matches. at the end, I was confused what the hell happened. I had to ask Billy what the finish was.
You know, I have to disagree, because usually when Miz and Mizdow are doing a match, it's usually pretty funny and entertaining. So
yeah, but then there at the end, it was like, I didn't know what the hell they were doing. Like,
okay,
for that finish, I turned away for 1 second. I was like, what the hell happened?
Fair enough. Like I said, for me, and not to mention the Usos are always entertaining. They're always a great tag team, so they've never bored me. But that's just me again. James, over to you.
I want to correct you with something. He didn't use the title belt. He used the Slammy to win.
He used the Slammy. I thought he had used the belt. My mistake.
Nope, he used the Slammy to get himself disqualified. But I think this is more interesting that they continue on the Usos. Mizdow feud, but I think I can see why they're doing it because of Naomi, and I feel like Naomi is involved in that. Got to be involved with that, and maybe I'm returning Maurice, but I'm not too sure, man.
Okay, let's move on to the next match, which this was Big Show versus Eric Rowan in a stairs match. Now, while this was a newer match to the TLC product, I liked it. It was kind of interesting at first, but then after, a couple of minutes into the match, it kind of got boring. Even the fans were really kind of like, yeah, they started falling asleep. There were some good spots, but after a while, it was like, okay, enough. We just wanted to see the match end. These guys were just swinging these 200-pound steps like they were golf clubs. But surprisingly, I thought the Big Show was going to lose, because Big Show tends to lose some bad matches, but he did get the win as he actually pins Rowan with the steps and after he does a choke slam. So, James, your thoughts?
It's okay. I wouldn't say it's a great match. It's an okay match. I just feel like they could have done a little bit better with it, but it's basically a stairs match. What do you expect? The only thing you can use is freaking stairs. What else can you really do?
Again, I have to agree with you. Like I said, yeah, some of the spots were great, but after a while, it was like enough is enough. And Lance, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay. It's like James is right. What you can only use stairs. There's only so much you can do with stairs. Them things are freaking heavy. They're big and cumbersome. Can't do a whole hell of a lot, but they did okay.
And of course, the next one, which was, we thought was going to be one of the main events, and it turns out to be one of the mid-card matches. Yeah, and I know somebody's already marking out just over that alone. It's John Cena versus Seth Rollins in a tables match. Now, this was a special step. If Cena loses, he will no longer be number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, we saw Paul Heyman come out to ringside, and of course he didn't do any color commentary. He kind of just sat out there as a close spectator. And we kind of was wondering if maybe Brock Lesnar was going to come out or do anything, but nothing. So he just kind of sat out there. Now, JJ Security gets involved immediately. So this is more of a 3-on-1 match throughout this entire match. So Cena was already fighting, an uphill scale battle. There was a lot of really good spots in this match, so I really got to give it to Cena and Rollins. This was a great match, probably one of the better matches on this card. After he pretty much gets rid of, JJ Security, not once, but twice, we see Seth Rollins and Cena go through two of the tables exactly at the same time. So we're like, oh no, what are we going to see here? They got to do some kind of like a controversial thing. And luckily, it was a restart, which thankfully, it was, but then what happens, Big Show comes down and starts beating on Cena, and this is where we see the big pop of the night. Who comes down? Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns does a Superman punch on his old buddy, Seth Rollins, and then spears Big Show through the table. This is where Cena finally gets the finish. He puts Seth Rollins through the table. He gets his win. Lance, I know that you are a big Cena hater, but you know what? I'm going to let you start.
Oh, it's a pretty good match. I was just glad that it was not the damn main event, because it would not have made sense for the TLC match not to main event. Other than that, it was a good match.
Yeah, absolutely. And James, over to you.
This was I'm gonna say this was a great match. And I was really surprised was Roman Reigns was the one that came out and helped Cena help Cena with Big Show, and I didn't expect Big Show, but I didn't expect Reigns. I thought it was Randy Orton. But
A lot of people thought it was going to be, Randy Orton, and especially because that Randy Orton has a big issue with Seth Rollins, and even I thought that was going to happen, and you know what? It didn't even dawn on me. I thought Randy Orton was going to come down, and I thought that was going to, of course, start the feud, but that didn't happen. So, hey, it worked out, and it was a pleasant surprise for a change. But let's move on to the next match. It's Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee in the Divas title match. Now, this has kind of had a weird ending to it. As the ref was getting rid of Brie Bella, who tried to get involved in the match, Nikki sprays something right in AJ Lee's face, and she kind of goes down, knocks her out. Now, that's kind of a weird spray. And she hits her with a
Rack Attack.
The Rack Attack, thank you. I keep on forgetting that move. And gets a win. It was pretty, it's a Diva match, so it's, nothing special about it. I can't give it anything else to it. I'd like to say it was a great match, but it wasn't even that. So it was a Bella match. So there it is. I'm going to kick things over, of course, to our Diva correspondent, James. Your thoughts?
This one is just me contemplating on this rumor than this match itself. I mean, Rick, you're the one's like, oh, I'm not gonna believe the rumor. I'm like that, but I'm kind of still have that funny feeling she actually might. I mean, she might take the break, as you said, or she might leave, but we don't know until some official occurs on WWE.com or AJ's Twitter or somebody's Twitter or whatnot. That we don't know. But as you said, this one's your weird ending. Why did we have a random spray? Are we doing the beautiful people again? ...
I think with the beautiful people thing, I think it's just the sisters are getting back together because they've always been a good team. And, a lot of people are thinking that they want to do a match at, WrestleMania. You know what? I hope the fuck not, because it'll be boring as hell. It'll be one of the worst matches on the card for WrestleMania. They did it at SummerSlam, and that's where it needed to end. And,
they did it. They did it at Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
They started it with Stephanie and Brie.
Exactly. So they don't need to go any further. I'm sorry. It's just like the storyline was terrible. It was boring. It was just it was a piss break. It was worse than a piss. It was a shit break. So, and as far as AJ Lee, you know what? I'll believe it when I see it, and that's it. Lance, over to you.
Well, I mean, we all saw this coming. It's one of the most predictable matches on the whole damn card. And the end, they kind of stole from the beautiful people on TNA, the spray. That was directly a ripoff.
And here's your thing, though, really, is that this is the 2-time Nikki Bella has won and retained the Divas Championship not clean. So what does it tell you?
She's a dirty, dirty girl.
Yeah, she'll continue to get the heel win after heel win after heel win, unless if it's like, jobbers, that's the only time she'll get the wins. Let's move on to the next match, which is Kane versus Ryback, and it's chair match. Now, guys, I very rarely liked any kind of chair matches. All this was just a whole bunch of chair shots, and hence, of course, this is the name why they call it the chair match. But and then, of course, Ryback gets a win with a shell shock. Again, this was just another one of those matches like, ho-hum, wait for the match to end. Oh, okay, the match is over, and that's it. I'm sorry. I wish I could get, we kind of like claimed that Ryback was going to win, and he got the win. So that's all there is to it. Predictable and boring. Lance, your thoughts?
I wouldn't say boring. Better than I thought it was going to be. Great? No, but because I thought, oh, hell.
All right, James, over to you.
As I would stay for the stairs match. What else can you much do?
Yeah, exactly. Now let's move on to, again, a match that I was hoping, I had high hopes for. I really did. This was Rusev versus Jack Swagger for the U.S. title match. Now, again, I was really thinking that, wow, maybe they just might put this title on Jack Swagger. And, I guess I'm a fool for that one. Because this was exactly like their last feud. Swagger puts up this great, great fight. Even gets out of the accolade the first time. And the second time, he passes out. Now, I know, James, you tend to disagree, says he tapped out. Now, he passed out. And this was just so shocking. I mean, like I said, they might as well, I said this during the pay-per-view, they might as well replay the pay-per-view and just had given people a break while they're going up and gone their drinks. It would have been no fucking different. This is the worst, probably, match on the card. I hate to say it, the Divas pay-per-view was better than this. So
The Divas match?
Yeah, I have to give this the worst match on the night. So, James, your thoughts?
I wasn't surprised. That's what I'm gonna say. I wasn't surprised. I knew Rusev was gonna win. I'm not gonna bring up the other report. So let's move on.
And Lance, over to you.
Same shit, different day.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And it's sad, but but let's move on to the main event, which I hate to say, but the main event probably was another shining light of the night. This was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt in a TLC match. Now, Dean Ambrose just starts off beating the hell out of Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt is just sitting there just taking it over and over and over again. It's almost like saying, hey, let me give you the best shot. Give me more. And then all of a sudden, as if some switch was turned, Wyatt turns the tables on Ambrose, and then he just starts beginning to punish him with all these different weapons around the ring. And then, of course, throughout the match, it starts going back and forth. But it just seems like the first, maybe, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, it was just, you beat on me, I'll beat on you, and just to see who could really take the most beating. It was really weird. And then after that, from there on, it goes, you saw some really incredible spots. And I like TLC matches, but considering that this match, this TLC match, was not for a title, this was the only one downside to this match. Other than that, I have no bitches or complaints about this match whatsoever at all. This is probably the best match of the night. It was a main event, greatest match of the night. Between the opening match and this match, the ladder match and this match, you got to give these two, they're definitely close. It started getting to the point, I think, at the very end where Ambrose brings out this 25-foot ladder or a 20-foot ladder. It was probably one of the biggest ladders we've ever seen in WWE. And he does this huge elbow drop onto the onto the Spanish ladder, under the Spanish table, brings him into the ring, and now he goes to grab this TV, which he got from underneath the ring, and he goes to slam him with it, but of course it's still plugged in. Goes to grab it, and then all of a sudden he yanks it out, and of course sparks fly, and that's where he goes like, oh my god, looked as if he had blinded himself, and of course Wyatt hits him with Sister Abigail. He gets the win. I just found that incredibly funny because with most TVs nowadays, they're not wired in like that. You just unplug them and they just come apart. But that's, hey, it's the WWE and you come to love it. But anyways, this match, it was a 5-star match, hands down. Lance, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Well, the only way this could have been better is if in storyline Dean Ambrose would stole the lantern or something and that been hanging up above it. Then it would have been a true TLC match because, you got to have something dangling above the ring to climb to get. But other than that, great match. It proves WWE can still go hardcore. It's just when they want to. And this was definition of a classic hardcore match in the whatever the hell era we're in now.
Yeah, I agree. James, over to you.
I have to agree because, as I said, here's the thing though. This is the third time that the TLC match ended in a pinfall submission. First one was the first Shield versus Ryback and Team Hell No, and then the second one was the WLC. Which was actually a pretty decent match, WLC. But talking about this match, I say this was a great match, but I agree, kind of have to agree with the fact that if you don't have something hanging above and something to fight for, then what would be the real point for? It's a great match. Tables, ladders, chairs, and TVs, and candlesticks and whatnot. But I would say it's match of the night, yeah.
Overall, I think this pay-per-view, I wish I could really give it a higher score, but there were really just some matches that really just did not make it. There was just some matches that was really ho-hum. I think the opening match and the closing match and the main event really were it. I think also the Cena's Rollins table match probably were the saving graces of this pay-per-view. The rest of it, I'm sorry, was pretty much junk. I don't know about you guys, if there was anything else. Lance, James, go ahead.
No, let Lance go first.
Okay, Lance, what were your thoughts overall with this pay-per-view? Shit. There it is, folks. James, what were your thoughts overall with this pay-per-view?
I'm gonna start off with MVPs. I talked to MVP before we did this show. MVP says this pay-per-view is a joke and it was predictable. He gives it a 2.5 out of 5. The best moment is actually was surprised that Roman Reigns came out to interfere because, as I say, everybody thought it was Randy Orton. But, another surprise factor, Roman Reigns come out and help. He says the best match was the TLC match, worst match was the chairs match. And I have to agree with what MVP has said. NXT Arrival. No, not NXT Arrival. Well, we could also put Arrival. But the NXT TakeOver that we recently had on Thursday was hell of a lot better than this pay-per-view.
Preach it.
Yeah, NXT Revolution, absolutely. It's for those of you who have yet to see that, if you have the WWE Network, go watch it. If you don't, get onto YouTube and go look for the highlights of that match. That match is incredible. If you guys don't watch NXT, start watching it because that is where the real talent is. I'm sorry. But right now, what we want to know is what you guys thought of TLC. What were your picks for the matches? Make sure you put your comments in the comment section below. And please, make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it is YouTube, Dailymotion, and now be sure you catch a ride over at SoundCloud.com. Just search for anywhere at HWR Show. Lance, where can people follow you?
YouTube.com/LanceMossTV. Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, Redneck Gonna Make Cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, and also, starting at the beginning of next year, I will have the archives of controversies and scandals from HWR.
That's right, folks. Make sure you get on over there. We have James from the Big Easy in the house. James, what do you got going on?
I'm on twitch.tv/FatBoy504. I need to give you the link just in case you need it, Rick, to put it on for anywhere. It's more for PS4 game. I'm doing WWE 2K15, which I would say would be a whole lot better than this pay-per-view. NBA, Madden, Destiny, and whatever other games.
Okay, we'll have that link. We'll be putting that on our Facebook page. And that Facebook page is facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. So for everyone here, I'm your hardcore host, Rickhead, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Just received an email from the anonymous Raw General Manager, and I quote, "Let me watch NXT TakeOver again."
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the Moment. Make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it's YouTube, Dailymotion, and now SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.